What's going on there, Nova Squad? My name is Nova. Welcome back to the channel. So today we'll be watching part 2 of the Jew special. So without further ado, here we go.
I wonder what's in tomorrow's flat oval box. She's like, you'll never guess. I'm like, it's for sure a skateboard, Mom. I'm the second smartest race in the world, and this is very easy to figure out as it is.
Second smartest race this morning.
Korean.
Oh!
Here's a story of Hanukkah. I'll tell it to you. So you can talk about this in December with your bosses probably at work. A long time ago, the Jews got kicked out of Israel, okay? One of the many times that happened over history. We are the weakest race in the world. Anybody wanted Israel just fucking took it. For real, Greeks, Romans, people from Alabama. Like, it doesn't matter, dude.
Why Alabama?
Anybody's like, get out of here. Like, I'm going. Stop.
I mean, it's happening now, technically,
fucking
so.
defeatable. I hate it. Ugh. Here's why I don't really do impressions. Here's my only impression I do. It's the sound of the soul of a Jew. Ready?
What? That's so messed up.
Yeah, all our stories are about survival. They're never about succeeding. Nobody's ever like, watch out, the Jews are coming. You know, it's like... Yeah, Palestinians, we got them. All right, we broke our losing streak on that for sure. Dude, I saw this Free Palestine march last summer in New York, and they were all like marching. They had a big Free Palestine sign, but the Palestine part was covered. People were like in front of it, so it was covered, so I couldn't see that part. So I just saw the first half. So I like run across the street. What did they give? Oh no! Like, this is the worst place for me to be. Oh.
I covered his nose. That's funny.
I'm so sorry. Fuck. They're all staring at me. I didn't know what to do. I just started scrambling. I was like, oh, I'm just headed to Little Palestine to get some Palestinian food. They're all like, there is no Little Palestine. And if you ask Jews, there's also no Big Palestine.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the Greeks. The Greeks drove us out to the Hanukkah story. We were gone for about 100 years, and then we came back. They left. They were like, this place sucks, and they fucking took off. So they left, and then they fucked up our temple, like our main, church, pretty much. They like messed, I don't know what they did. They knocked over chairs, and they spray painted dicks on the walls. Who knows?
Wow, okay.
But the main thing they did was they used our oil candle, supposed to keep lit all the time, this oil candle. And they only had 1 day's worth of oil left. And new oil.
Is that why his background has all the candles?
They're like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna keep it lit? And the Jew's like, I don't know, fuck it, light it up. Let's see what happens.
See what happens.
Somehow, 1 day's worth of oil lasted for 8 days. And that is when Jews learned how to be cheap. The miracle of Hanukkah, everybody. Yeah, that candle's the miracle of Hanukkah. Dumbest miracle in the history of organized religion. You Christians, man, your miracles are the tits. You guys got great miracles. God, when I left my religion, I switched to a secular college, University of Maryland, and I met all these Christians, and they told me about Jesus, and I was fucking blown away. They were like, he walked on water, and I was like, that's impossible, can't. I've seen water before, so sell it to somebody else. Like, yeah, it's a miracle. I'm like, oh. I'm like, he didn't get wet? They're like, I mean, maybe some splashback on the sandal, but I don't think Jesus was waterproof. If he dragged his foot, yeah, probably a little bit of water, but for the most part, pretty dry. I was like, damn, was that his best trick? They're like, oh no, it was not his best trick. His best trick by far, he died, and then it was like, nah. And everybody's favorite trick was turn water into wine. That, dude, man of the people, for sure. I heard about that. I was like, what kind of wine was it? And they're like, Ari, you're literally the first person to ever ask that question.
Right, yeah,
what
he
a
is.
nitpicky, Jewy thing to worry about. You get free wine out of water and you're still complaining? Like, well, I don't want a dry wine. I don't know. Just see if she's gonna do a Malbec. Just ask him. But then they're like, what about you, Ari? What's the Jews' big miracle for the holidays? I'm like, oh, okay, well, we had this candle, and it lasted hella long. Yeah, our miracles are more like you had to be there miracles.
Yeah.
People came into the synagogue and 2 days later, it's like, is that fucking candle still going? One more day, that's a fucking miracle. I swear to God, that's a miracle. One more day. That's a one-day candle.
It's a one day.
Jesus just like, rise. And you're like, what the fuck? I believe if Jesus came back now, he would turn sand into Molly. Yeah. And it would be the best Molly. You know, if somebody's like, hey, I have MDMA, like, well, you gotta test it, man. There's fentanyl going around. You can't just do whatever. Where'd you get this from? Like, from Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior.
So stupid.
Yeah. How good would communion be if he were hitting you with a fucking Molly tab? He'd be like, move. God. By the end of the sermon, you'd be like, this guy cares about us. Yeah, Hanukkah's not our biggest holiday, and it's not Black Friday. I heard that too. Passover. It is a big holiday, but it's not our biggest one. Passover commemorates when the Jews left Egypt. We were slaves in Egypt. I don't know if you guys knew about that. We recovered. What a fun story that is. Here's the basis of the story. Some woman, she was a slave, and she had a slave son named Moses, and she didn't want Moses to be raised like a slave. So she just took a fucking half-court shot. She was like, I don't know, I'm gonna think outside the box here. How about we just chuck it in a river? We'll put it in a little basket. And we'll throw it into the crocodile-infested Nile River and hope for the best. And man, she swished it. Baby did not get eaten by crocodiles or tip over. It went right to the Pharaoh's daughter. The Pharaoh's daughter, the king's daughter, was like, oh, I love, how chicks are around babies. She's like, I love a baby. Oh, I love a baby. So she raised it like it was her own. She raised this Moses. I don't know how he knew his original name, but same name. And coincidence, lucky coincidence on that.
She had found the mother in the story.
Actually, he was 19, 20 years old, went to his grandfather, the Pharaoh, the king, and he was like, hey, motherfucker, I got news for you. I want your grandson. And the Pharaoh was like, yeah, my daughter was never pregnant. We know. She didn't ever do that. Plus, you're balding with glasses, so I think you came from Slave Island over there.
That's crazy.
That's my favorite part of the story. The Jews were slaves in Egypt. Egypt was a superpower. And their labor force, their manual labor force, was the weakest, most complaining people in the world. I mean, there's nobody softer than Jews. I think the pyramid's supposed to be houses, and the Jews are like, it's too hot, just pile it up. What a terrible, terrible choice for slave. And by the way, Egypt is in Africa. Like, there's better options out there. I'm just saying, who do you want picking up stones for you? Dikembe Mutombo or Gilbert Gottfried? Chose wrong.
I can't argue with that.
The country's falling apart right now. So let me tell you everything you need to know about Jews. I don't know where to start. I never know where to start. I'll tell you what. Let's start with chicks. Let's start with women. Women in Orthodox Judaism are second-class citizens, for sure. Yeah, you're not a full part of the religion. But, by the way, I can feel you turning on me. I didn't make any of this up, okay? Don't blame me. I do agree with all of it, but I did not make any of this up. It's better than a lot of religions. Like, you can't beat your wife in Judaism, but if you do beat your wife, they'll be like, don't do that. You're just not really a full part of the religion. Like if this is a synagogue, it'd be all the men down here, and the women would be up there behind a fence, like in the balcony, looking at us participating. Like, what are you guys doing back there? Yeah. We're like, shut up. We'll talk to you later. So there's all these laws associated with being a woman, especially a married woman. If you're a married woman in Judaism and you're on your period, you're considered unclean. Yeah, which that's actually. Yeah, I mean, I have a problem with that spiritually, but physically, that's actually a very nice way of describing what's actually happening. Unclean is fine. I mean, like, legitimately, if I put 2 giant buckets on the stage, and one giant bucket said, clean vaginas, and the other giant bucket said, unclean vaginas, and then I handed each of you a bleeding vagina, and I said, put that anywhere. Which bucket do we all know would be overflowing with vaginas?
Oh my God!
So you're unclean until you stop having your period, then you have to have 7 days of no blood, and then you gotta go to a ritual bath called a mikvah, and then you're considered clean again. And it's 7 days of no blood in a row.
That's so much. That's so many steps.
Yeah, clock starts over, bitches.
Look, I ain't trying to pause, whatever, but like you see, like that just goes to show, like these women in America gotta stop complaining about what men do in America, because like in other religions, in other countries, they do steps of what they gotta do. Like I never knew that. That's insane to me.
Yeah, it's like microwave popcorn. It's gotta be the full 3 seconds, or it does not count. You know, it's like pop 1, 2, pop 1, pop 1, pop 1, pop 1, pop 1, 2, pop 1, pop 1, pop 1, pop 1, pop 1, pop 1, 2, 3. Yes. All burned. That's your vaginas in Judaism, just so you know. It's the microwave popcorn of body parts. And while you're unclean, you can't touch your husband. And your husband can't touch you. Oh, yeah. You can't even sleep next to each other. You gotta go sleep in the corner, like the bleeding whore that you are. It's everyone like you.
Wow.
So this law, it's called Nita. This is the reason. Sociologically, this is the reason that Orthodox Jews have large families. It's not only so you can fill up our minivans. There's another reason for it. It boils down to this. How long do periods last? What do periods go for these days? 5 days.
A week?
Okay.
Yeah, a week. Whatever.
She's heavily disagreeing with you in the back. So what do you think it is? 7, said the mansplainer?
Yeah.
All right, let's split the difference. 5 to 7. That's what I thought that was gonna be a woman saying the answer to that, but 7, I know. 5 to 7 days, I believe she said. Plus 7 days of no blood. That's 12 to 14 days. Okay. Plus another day or 2 to go to the ritual bath, to go to the mikvah. They're not like 24 hours.
We would go so much stuff
with
that,
only
man.
in certain spots. So now we're talking about probably around 13 to 15 days after you start your period is the first time you're allowed to touch your husband. It's also when you are the most fertile in your cycle. Your ovaries are right at the bottom of your pussy. And you haven't touched your husband in 2 weeks, and he hasn't touched you. You're supposed super horny, and right then God's like, go. I mean, there's no chance, dude. There's no chance. Imagine the husband's home washing dishes, cum's coming out of his ears. Fucking hate this religion so much. Should have been a Buddhist. Buddhists fuck all the time. All the kids like, Daddy, you need to shut the fuck up. Daddy's not in the mood right now.
Whoa! He actually kicked something. He actually
you can
kicked
beat your
something.
kids in Judaism, just so you know. That is allowed. You can't beat your wife, but you can beat your children.
So you can't beat your kids, but you
And right
can't.
then, the woman walks through the door, you know, the guy's all cranky, just fucking pent up. And he's just like, where have you been? And she's like, ritual bath. And he's like, oh, yeah? Why don't you go get that sheet with the hole in it?
The sheet with the hole? Oh! I just probably what you're just saying.
There's a rumor that Jews have sex through a hole in a sheet. And it's not true. But it's not true. So it comes from some racists made it up a long time ago. I'll tell you where it comes from. Jews have this like sort of prayer poncho thing called tzitzit. It goes under, it's like a t-shirt, but it's like made like a poncho. It's like on no sides, and it's got these white tassels. Sometimes you'll see that white tassels coming out of it at the bottom. They're called tzitzit. And the white tassels are for like, in times of trouble, we would tie razors to the end of that. Create a fucking bubble of safety. But anyway, I guess some lady was like washing the family's tzitzit and she was hanging them up to dry, and some racists walked by. And dude, say what you want about racists. They're not the best people in the world, but they are very creative. Some of them walked by and they saw one hanging up and they were like, I bet they fucked through that. And it just wasn't even a bad thing. The hole was like that big. So I was like, yeah, spread that. But then it changed, it morphed. The rumor morphed into like a regular bedspread with a little hole cut in the middle of it. And here's how strong the rumor was. I thought it was true. Up until legitimately 2 years ago. So I guess they thought like a woman supposed to lie down naked and you cover her up with a sheet like she's dead. You know, and you line the hole up like right over her vagina. And then you gotta get in there, you know, and like through the hole. You guys remember the game Operation? Just like that. But instead of using tweezers, use that sweet D. And you just fucking...
That's funny.
Yeah, I think actually, I don't know. It might be that way. It might be another way. It might be that the guy holds a sheet like over him. You know, just puts it over that and just has his dick out of the hole. Like a walking glory hole.
I mean, either way it goes, man. Either way it goes. All right, y'all. So that was going to be part 2 of this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Again, it's going to be a long process since this special is an hour, 30 minutes long and thing. So let me know in the comment section if you want me to actually continue on to this one. Well, I mean, either way it goes, I am going to continue. What I was going to ask, like, if there's any other specials that you guys want me to react to, please let me know in the comment section. But anyways, if you guys really enjoyed this reaction today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comment section down below what you to react to next. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, my name is Nova, and I'll see you guys next episode. Peace!